Welcome to the Master Dealmaker's Secrets podcast. And now, here's sales growth strategist, John Blake.
Welcome to Master Dealmaker Secrets. I'm John Blake. This is episode 78. And today we are going to be talking about the three biggest areas of hidden revenue in almost every business. And I'm really excited to be talking to you about this. But before we do that, if you have got leads in your funnel that you've spoken to, but they haven't purchased yet, and you want a really easy way that you can convert more of those inquiries that you've already spoken to but haven't gone ahead yet into paying clients, head over to johnblakeaudio.com and grab your free audio training where I show you the precise strategy that you can use to double the sales that you've got in your existing pipeline. So with your existing lead flow, without spending any more money on ads, without getting any more leads into your funnel, how you can double your sales. This exact same strategy that I work with my clients on. It's the first thing we do because I know it's the fastest way that we can get them the quickest win. So head over to johnblakeaudio.com and not only will you get the audio training, what you'll also get is the exact word-for-word scripts, what to say when you call somebody on the phone, what to write in the emails that you send out to people who haven't committed yet, and exactly when to email and when to call over an 8-week period. So this is going to give you great results. I really look forward to hearing your success story from using it. So head over to johnblakeaudio.com and grab that now. Okay, cool. So episode 78, how to find the three biggest untapped areas of hidden revenue in almost every business. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly explain to you what each of the three areas are, and then I'm going to give you a couple of examples and some different ways that you can look at it to really start to extract more out of what you're doing in your business in terms of sales revenue. So essentially the three areas are the front end. So they are the inquiries and the leads that you are getting into your business. So they could be web leads, they could be telephone calls, they could be inquiries that come through your social media channels. So it's the front end part. It's the front end part. So what's interesting about this is that if you talk to digital marketers, they will talk about a conversion as somebody who clicked on an ad and filled out a form on a landing page to download some sort of free lead magnet, some sort of free template or checklist or watch a video or watch a series of videos. That they look at that as a conversion, right? In my world, that is not a conversion. A conversion is when somebody actually pays for something. They put down a deposit and they become a client. Okay, so let's just get the terminology clear in terms of the difference between the two. So you've got the front end. So when I say that the front end, I'm talking about an actual inquiry. I'm not talking about somebody who has downloaded something. I'm talking about somebody who has emailed you, has filled out an inquiry form, and at the very minimum, you have got their email address, and you may also have their telephone number. Okay, so some of those people might have just wanted to download something. I don't see them as a lead per se. I'm talking about somebody who has contacted you with the intent of inquiring about buying something, if that makes sense. So there's a distinction, So for instance, on my website, I've got a lead magnet called How to Attract Dream Clients. So someone can click on my website, go to a landing page, and they can put their email address in there and their first name, and they can download that particular free report. But they haven't actually contacted me about buying something. So there's a distinction there. That person certainly sits on my database and represents an opportunity, but I'm talking about someone who has inquired about making a purchase or has inquired about how much you charge for something. I hope you understand the distinction. Okay, so that's the front end. So there's an opportunity there because many of those people, when you go to contact them, if you've got their email address or if you've got their telephone number, you're not going to get hold of them. Because what we know is that 87% of telephone calls go unanswered. So if your team in any given month got 100 leads and they tried to contact those 100 leads, what we know is that depending on how many times they try in that month, they're probably not going to contact all of those leads. And this can be, as an example, one particular client that I spoke to, they had, they told me that they were getting 200 web leads a month and that they were only actually talking to half of them, right? So my next question was, well, what happens to the other half, right? So they're getting 200 web leads that they're actually paying for, and they're only actually contacting 100 of those leads. And then the next part of the conversation was, what's your conversion rate? And they said, it's 25%. So before they told me that they were only contacting half of those 200 leads, I said, what's your conversion rate? And they said, it's 25%. I said, okay, so 50. And they go, no, it's 25. And I'm like, what? And they're like, no, we only convert 25 people out of those 200. And I said, well, that ain't 25%. 25% of 200 is 50, right? I'm not that good at maths, but I know that. And they said, no, we only actually get a hold of 100. And I'm like, oh. So, and I'm not saying that yours is as bad as that, right? But what I am saying is that there is a percentage of those people that your team or even you are just not going to get to straight away. But it represents an opportunity because those people have contacted you with intent. They have some sort of an intent to make a purchase either now or at some point. So that is the first area of untapped revenue, hidden revenue in your business, the front end. Okay, so the next area is the middle. So the middle is the actual sales conversation that you have with them, right? So the scenario is this: they have contacted you either via email, they've filled out a web form, or they've rung you and perhaps they left a message. Perhaps they got straight through and they're now talking to either you or one of your salespeople. There is an untapped opportunity there because the average conversion rate sits at around about 25%, right? So out of every 100 people across the board, this is a general rule of thumb, but I've been doing this now for 17 years, so I've got a pretty good understanding and a broad understanding of what conversion rates are, is an average would be about probably 25%. So, a quarter of every, a quarter of the people that you speak to are going to actually convert into a paying client. So there's naturally an untapped opportunity with the 75% that don't convert, because what we know is that 50% of people are going to make a purchase within 18 months, and only roughly 20% will buy within the first 90 days. So there's another 30% that are going to buy between the 90-day mark and the 18-month mark. So that's another untapped opportunity. Hidden revenue in almost every business that you look at. So then there's the third area, which is the back end. So far we've talked about the front end, which is when the leads come through and there's a certain percentage that get contacted and a certain percentage that don't get contacted. We've talked about the middle, which is what happens in your actual sales conversation, and the percentage that convert versus don't. And then we've got the back end, which combines. So as I said, when we were talking about the middle area, right? Average conversion rate 25%, which means that the average percentage of people who don't convert in the initial conversation is 75%. So you've got all those people in the back end that you can contact. So that's one source of hidden revenue. But then what you've also got is all the people that bought from you that could potentially buy something else, right? So what is your offer to people who have bought something at the front end to actually continue buying from you off the back end? So many businesses don't have a back end. They don't have an ongoing program that they offer to support people who have made a purchase. So one of my clients has a weight loss and nutrition clinic, and they've got a whole bunch of people that have bought either a 3-month, a 6-month, or a 12-month program. And we did a survey with her database, and we found that 80% of people have, if they were in a program, 6 months ago, 3 months ago, 12 months ago, whatever, 80% of people who bought a program have slipped back into bad eating habits and have put weight back on. So that, and there's 5,000-10,000 people on her database. So we've put together a back end offer because the survey was, the results from the survey were just, ridiculously clear. It was like, we need to put together an ongoing program that we can support people with so that they've got ongoing accountability, they've got access to ongoing information and support so that they can remain healthy and keep the weight off. So in summary, 3 areas: front end, middle, and back end. And back end, you've got all the people that didn't convert in the middle, and then you've got also the opportunity to put together an offer to convert people who have already bought, who are sitting on your database, who would probably buy again. You've just got to put together an offer that's attractive enough for them to do that. So I hope this is valuable, and I thank you for listening, and I will talk to you on the next podcast. Cheers.
You've been listening to Master Dealmaker's Secrets with John Blake. Subscribe to get more in-depth strategies to maximize your sales process with new episodes every week. And double your inquiry to sale conversion with the lead flow you already have. Go to johnblakeaudio.com for his exclusive free no-fluff audio training and companion PDF guide.